Hello everybody! Yes, I am using a voice filter to sound badass. I am, as you all know, I am Mackenzie version 5, and I have a video that I'm going to be reacting with you people with. Someone recommended this to me because apparently it affects me because I'm Australian, and we got a lot of problems to deal with, and this is just an even bigger problem. Apparently, no one will be able to buy anything from Steam anymore if this is true.
You're a gamer. You play games. But what if a group of people decided that your hobby was a crime? What if they wanted to use police, even international police, to come after you just for disagreeing with them? That's not a joke. It's happening right now, and it's all thanks to a group called Collective Shout, who are trying to get anyone who stands against them arrested. Meet Collective Shout, an Australian group that decided they didn't like some of the games on platforms like Steam and itch.io. So what did they do?
You see, I live in Brisbane, and in Melbourne there was this problem where during the COVID plague they would have everyone stay in their houses. They would have this 15 feet ring around your house and with a ring of blue tape, and if you stepped over that line you would have to pay, I think, a $50 fine, and it would actually get higher every time you offended. It was almost like the privacy boxes and I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, where you're trapped inside it. Very good book, by the way. Just you read it.
After Gaben wouldn't listen to their complaints, they went after the money. They sent a letter to major payment companies like PayPal and MasterCard demanding they stop working with these game stores. Their argument was that some of the games had extreme content, framing it as illegal and that it should be removed.
Extreme content. You know, I would love to see these Karens play Splatterhouse. Okay? I dare them. Okay, this game came out in 2011, and it was brutal. You could actually pull someone's intestines out of their ass. You could actually pull someone's head off and beat someone else with it. And then, because it has to be Jim Cummings, he has to have this very, very dorky thing going, "Hey mom, look, I'm getting head." Okay, these Karens don't realize that this type of content and this type of humor has existed for the longest time. All the way back in the 80s. Does anyone remember the game Custer's Revenge? Come on, people. Man, the memory of a goldfish, I tell you.
Moved. The thing is, it worked. The payment companies gave in. They told the game stores to clean up their act or they would lose service. The game platforms removed thousands of titles to make sure that they fell in line with these financial companies' rules. This response not only hurt the players of these games, it also caused financial damage to real people, including the thousands of developers who spent countless hours on the art and game development. It wasn't only that though. One of PayPal's largest acquiring banks terminated its service with Steam in every currency other than 6. So now it's no longer just about adult games. Nearly every single person on the platform is now directly affected. Also, when a bank terminates its service with a merchant, they report it to the match list. We covered it in our previous video, but it's a secret confidential list that top banks and financial companies like MasterCard and Visa use to monitor risky merchants.
Risky merchants. Sometimes I wonder if I'm either trapped in a TV and then I'm in a Black Mirror episode, or Black Mirror is just reflecting real life. Next thing you know, Idiocracy is going to be real. And we don't want that.
Imagine it as a big red flag or a warning telling other banks not to work with Valve. Although the match list database is kept extremely private, the fact a bank has terminated service with Valve means they are highly likely to be on this blacklist. After their win, Collective Shout couldn't stop talking about the situation. You'd think a group that got what it wanted would move on.
They don't realize the damage they have just done. They blackballed Valve. a few years ago, they phased out CD-ROMs, which means PC gaming is going to die. Because these idiots, like, do these people not watch The Simpsons? There was an episode like this where there was a video game that came out that was so bloody, so brutal, that Marge had it banned. But then they were going to bring the Michelangelo's David to Springfield, and they chopped its dick off, much to Marge's dismay. She even went and said she liked that statue because it was art. And then she realized the mistake she made and let Bart have the game.
To bigger things. But of course, this group doesn't actually care about protecting anyone other than removing content they don't like. To defend their actions, Collective Show has been trying to paint these games as highly illegal to larger organizations that have little understanding of gaming, like a United Nations Special Rapporteur, a UN.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Oh. The United Nations. Okay, the United Nations don't know what they're doing.
And Rapporteur are independent human rights experts who simply investigate and advise on issues. The fact that Collective Show is trying to get one on their side shows they're actively working to legitimize their claims to a wider non-gaming audience. And now, they found a partner in a report from a group called the Online Hate Prevention Institute. This report, which sides with Collective
Now, to these people, calling you a moron is a hate crime, so take that with what you will.
Show is just saying why they think this censorship is so good and framing the pushback from gamers as a hateful, misogynistic campaign. But the most interesting part is when you reach the bottom conclusion. The Online Hate Prevention Institute has been shocked by both the extreme nature and volume of the content we have seen attacking Collective Show, the women who work there and those
the Ministry of Truth
that serve on its board of directors. The connect comes from accounts across multiple platforms. In some cases, new throwaway accounts have been created in an effort to anonymously post threats while trying to avoid any consequences. These are serious cases of cyber harassment, and there needs to be government responses, including
what proof you have this is harassment?
International cooperation between law enforcement agencies. Threats of death and rape are not free speech, not even in the United States, where some of the trolls clearly come from. We're not talking about your local police. We're talking about agencies that deal with serious international crimes.
Oh, fuck. You mean to tell me you're actually sending... Okay, what the... I have no words right now. That I am extremely pissed. Like, I know this doesn't affect me because I'm not really like a big of an online gamer, but just
asking for help from organizations like Interpol. It's crucial to understand that Interpol isn't a police force that would directly arrest you. Instead, it's a network that communicates between different countries' police. It would allow an Australian police force, like the Australian Federal Police, to coordinate with agencies in other countries, like the FBI in the US, to track down and investigate people. So Collective Shout's allies want to use laws that were designed to fight cybercrime, like harassment, threats, and defamation, to go after gamers who simply just don't want their games censored and controlled by people who have never played a video game in their life. And while no one should accept threats of violence, a number of people have found that Collective Shout has been faking threats against themselves to gain sympathy and get donation.
Of course they're gonna fake it. They're Karens. They'll pay someone to punch them in the face, and then say some random stranger did it. But here's the shit kicker. They don't get in trouble for it. The whole thing is proven to be a hoax, and the whole thing is swept under the rug. Simple as that.
fans. They genuinely think that if they just say the games are illegal and anyone who speaks up against them is misogynistic or a rapist, that it will just make everyone agree and listen to them. Remember, like Valve has said, the games they were targeting were legal and fit inside their original policies.
See that? Right there. Legal. Okay? Legal. Meaning it was within every right and every notion that everything would work out. They've pre-looked at the game, they approved it for their stores, and now you've got these crazy cat ladies coming to... This is the end of civilization.
So it genuinely seems like Collective Shout may actually start to work with police to pursue criminal charges against gamers. Collective Shout is straight up coming into a space that's not theirs, trying to control it, and they don't want anyone to speak up against it. They got cooked so hard they had to private their X account, which is most likely why they had to start begging for donations, as they were starting to look bad for their supporters. So let that all sink in. A group is trying to get international police involved. They want law enforcement to target people who oppose them. Although Collective Shout tries to act like the victims, this campaign has already directly affected thousands of developers, many of them small, independent creators who lost their income overnight. Luckily, Valve is on their side, but that still doesn't change the fact that their previous work was removed. So Collective Shout is directly responsible for inflicting financial damage on thousands of people. Because Collective Shout is an Australian group, these developers could group together and file a class action lawsuit against them for economical damages. Their most likely path to a win would be in an Australian court, as US courts would have difficulty claiming jurisdiction over an Australian organizations for actions that launched overseas. This is just a thought for all the game developers who are affected, as these power-hungry people won't stop until they face consequences. It also won't just stop here. According to MasterCard's rules, any game with non-consensual mutilation could be hit, and since Steam is now forced to follow their rules, this means nearly every top game could get removed. By not fighting back, we are allowing a small group to dictate what is acceptable for an entire global community. Trump has signed an executive order that is meant to stop banks from debanking or denying financial services for political or reputational risk reasons. So if it is a lawful activity, they can't deny it, which is what's happening exactly here. While this executive order is a big step, it's not a full law just yet, and won't help everyone around the world. Now, regardless of how long it takes, I wouldn't be surprised if Valve comes out with a solution so they no longer have to be dependent on these large financial companies. Make sure you support the developers, speak out against this kind of censorship, and whatever you do,
it's really hard to support the developers, because I bet you that some of these people, if you try going to a GoFundMe, PayPal will just deny it. They'll just give you back your money saying, oh, this person doesn't exist, or we can't work with this person. Like, I don't trust the government being a creature that is created by the government as an assassin droid, but that's sort of the reason why I keep away from things. But I felt like this had to be said. I felt that I had to get this put out there. Spread the word. We can't let Collective Shout ruin gaming for everyone. I know this doesn't affect me, but I don't like seeing other people suffering. And if people are going to lose their favorite games because of a bunch of batshit crazy Karens, I just can't sit here and let it happen. So get the word out, spread this video, kick some ass. That's all I gotta say for now. I will be streaming later on Twitch. I will be putting my Twitch link in the description of the video, and I will hope to see you there.